Imagine living in a nation at war, where the lights must stay off, the windows are taped shut, and every radio broadcast reminds you that sacrifice is your duty. In Imperial Japan during World War II, the battlefield wasn't only overseas, it was inside every home, every shop, every kitchen. And for millions of civilians, survival meant obedience, silence, and unthinkable endurance. This is the hidden world inside wartime Japan. What people ate, what they believed, and how life unfolded under total war. By the early 1940s, Japan had transformed into a full-scale military machine. Factories ran day and night. Schools drilled children in military discipline. Every citizen, young and old, was taught that loyalty to the emperor came before life itself. The government's message was clear. Endure everything for victory. This ideology didn't stay in the barracks. It entered the living room, the classroom, and the dinner table. Fear wasn't abstract. It was physical. American air raids threatened major cities, forcing Japan to adopt strict blackout regulations. Every window had to be sealed with black paper. Streetlights disappeared. Candlelight became a luxury. Wardens patrolled neighborhoods, banging on doors if even a sliver of light escaped. Families cooked and read in near darkness. Children learned to sleep through distant explosions. The night, once full of lanterns and life, became silent and suffocating. As the war dragged on, Japan's access to food collapsed. Blockades, bombings, and military priority meant civilians were often last in line. Daily meals became symbols of desperation. Rice, Japan's staple, was so scarce it was stretched with barley, millet, and even ground-up acorns. Meat and fish nearly vanished. Soy sauce was watered down. Vegetables were grown in tiny rooftop and balcony gardens. Cooking oil became precious, used drop by drop. People stood in long ration lines for a handful of sweet potatoes. Mothers skipped meals so children could eat. Many civilians suffered malnutrition, especially in the final years of the war. Inside classrooms, offices, and train stations, propaganda was impossible to escape. Children practiced bayonet drills and sang patriotic songs. School books depicted Japan as a divine nation destined to rule Asia. Newspapers printed only what the government approved, and radios, tightly controlled, repeated messages of unity, sacrifice, and inevitable victory. Even when defeat was already looming, cartoons, posters, and newsreels painted a world where the emperor was sacred, and dying for him was the highest honor. Information wasn't just controlled, it was weaponized. For millions, the most terrifying part of the war wasn't hunger, it was the sky. From 1944 onward, American B-29 bombers unleashed massive raids on Japan's cities. Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Kobe, all turned into firestorms. Civilians carried buckets, bamboo poles, and wet rags as makeshift firefighting tools. Neighborhoods dug trenches and prepared water tanks. Families slept in their clothes, ready to run at the first siren. In Tokyo's Great Firebombing of March 1945, more than 100,000 civilians were killed in a single night. War was no longer distant. It was overhead. With men at the front, women became the backbone of the home front. They staffed factories, ran community kitchens, and led rationing groups. Children collected scrap metal, trained in first aid. and practiced air raid drills in schoolyards turned into trenches. By 1945, even teenagers were mobilized for combat training. The line between civilian and soldier blurred until it disappeared. As Japan lost territory and resources, daily life grew desperate. Electricity failed, food vanished, cities lay in ruins. Yet propaganda insisted that victory was still possible, even as reality crumbled. When the emperor finally announced Japan's surrender on August 15, 1945, many citizens cried from shock, confusion, and relief. For the first time, they heard the emperor's voice and the truth. Inside Imperial Japan during World War II, everyday life was a battle of endurance. A struggle fought not on open battlefields, but behind dark windows and empty dinner tables. Blackouts, shortages, propaganda, and danger defined a generation. And behind the military parades and slogans were ordinary people trying simply to survive a war they could not escape. If you want more powerful history documentaries, remember to like, subscribe, and keep exploring the stories the world must never forget.